Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Where's MacIntyre? I don't see him.
Well, we're going to introduce. This is what we do.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Iain MacIntyre joins us now. There he is. Okay.
There I am. Yeah, I was a great intramural player up to about grade 8 or 9, and then real athletes took over. Wasn't everyone in Canada a fantastic road hockey player?
I was.
We're all awesome.
I was Nikolai Goldobin. Ian,
you know what? You were Nikolai Goldobin.
I was Nikolai Goldobin. Great hands, but I wouldn't back check. Ian, I golfed with a guy 2 weeks ago who said he remembers you in the Richmond Soccer League. Good striker. Is that correct?
I played a little bit of winger, but I'm so old now. A few decades ago, I migrated to the back line because there's less running there. So I still do my best. By the way, while I was in hold there, listening to you guys argue, is the whole show like that? Like, what do you need me for? Honestly,
yeah.
It's really? Ryan. No. It's Ryan. No.
Just to bring a little peace to the set.
You don't want 2 hours of yelling, Ian. We're delving into Jerry Springer territory here. Hey, Ian, do you agree with Bruce Boudreau's decision to pull Halak?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I would have pulled him after the fourth goal because, as Boudreau said, having had the first period that they had, it's 3-0. You imagine what the talk and the messaging was like in the dressing room. They come out in the second period, they get the early goal, and the New Jersey Devils, for all their speed and promise, they are a highly beatable team at 3-1 with 38 minutes to go. The game is still very much on. And then Halak just is retreating in his net, makes a really weak play on Boquist. And granted, Boquist got around Quinn Hughes, but it was such a poor goal. And poor, I agree with Ryan on this, poor body language by Halak after it. I would have been, if I were Boudreau, I would have been getting him then. But you can understand why, in Boudreau's situation, he wants to wait, because the whole idea is to give Demko a night off and to give Halak a chance to find some form. Like, it was clear early on he didn't have his form. Who knows when his next start's going to be. So you try to give him as much time as you can to get something going, get a feel for the puck again, and give Demko that night off. And instead, neither worked, and Demko's back in. And I think this is an issue because they got 27 games left. Let's say they got to win 18 of them. Well, how many can Thatcher Demko start? Like, whoever the backup is, he's going to have to play 4, 5, 6 games here. Yeah. And the Canucks can't afford just to cede those games to the opposition. They can't afford to accept, in those games, we're probably getting no points. Halak has to find his game. I know this is a tough ask when you're playing once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, but Halak has been at this a long time. He's got a lot of experience being a backup. He played basically 1 out of 3 games with Boston last year. So he's got to find a way to get his game back.
Key phrase there, Ian, you said whoever the backup is there a chance they, and I realize there are contract hassles and all that, or obstacles, but is there any chance they move on from Halak and call up Spencer Martin or make another move?
Yeah, well, I can't really see them making a move. I just don't think this team, however this miracle run that they're attempting is going to end up, I can't see them trading an asset to get a player, especially for a backup goalie. Yep. But I do think it's possible whenever Halak plays again, if he's poor again, at some point they may look to Spencer Martin. Look what Spencer Martin did for them. Now, tiny sample. Halak's got a massive sample as an NHL goalie, and he should be better than what he showed in February. He has to be if he wants to keep playing. Spencer Martin has a tiny sample, but look at what Spencer Martin did. He impressed everybody in the organization. I think he impressed some people around hockey as well. And I think absolutely there's a chance if Halak isn't good in his next start or say his next 2 that they give Martin another chance.
Ian, I want to ask you about Hoglander. Boudreau took a bit of a shot at him last night. Said, I don't know why it's so difficult for him to make an impact. He's down to 10 minutes a night. He was -3 last night. 1 assist in his last 11 games. What's going on there with him?
Well, I think Boudreau's at the end of his rope with him, first of all. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if Hoglander is out of the lineup by the time they play the Islanders on Thursday. If you look at the ice time the last couple of weeks, he's 12th among Canuck forwards. Yeah. So the only way down from there, the only place down from there is out of the lineup.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Boudreau. If you go back and listen to Connor Garland, he was talking about the second goal and guys blowing the zone. I'm pretty sure he didn't name names. I'm pretty sure he's talking about Nils Hoglander.
Yes, he was.
On that goal, Hoglander shovels the puck behind the net to Tyler Myers, which wasn't a great choice, and Myers certainly should have done better with it. But after he gave Myers the puck, he just bolted out of the zone. He was up near the red line. I don't know where or how he thought the puck was coming to him, but when Myers threw it blindly to where his winger should have been on the sideboards, and again, not letting Myers off the hook on this. He's 800 games in the NHL. He's got to do better than that as well. But you can't play that way in the NHL. And Boudreau has said about Hoglander in the past that, basically, I'm paraphrasing, great skills, going to be a good player, but has to learn to play the defensive side of the game. It can't play on the move all the time. That's one thing you often hear from NHL coaches. And it's a bit dinosauric. You can't play on the move when so much of the game now is about flow and speed. But in that case, you have to stop at some point and help make sure that the puck is getting out of your zone rather than just heading out to center. So that's one play. I know I'm picking on him a little bit, but to me, it's symptomatic of Hoglander's struggles for weeks now. And really, you could go back even when Travis Green was the coach, he was still struggling. He just seems at a loss. And the good thing is, he's so conscientious. We see how hard he works. We see how well he skates on a team that doesn't skate well. He's got a lot of tools there, but it's a struggle for him in this second season.
Yeah, it is.
And we talked about this yesterday. This was before the loss to the Devils, the loss in New Jersey. But everything was wine and roses 24 hours ago. So standing pat.
Welcome to the Canucks world.
Well, it's good for shows like ours. Standing pat, trading for the future. Being a buyer, where do you see the Canucks at before the trade deadline?
Well, I think whatever they do, they're going to be looking to the future. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to make 4 trades. But I always go back to something Jim Rutherford told me about a month and a half ago, that whatever they do before this trade deadline, they always have to have their eye on 2 years from now, a year from now, make sure that the organization is in a stronger position than the position it's in right now. So I think they have to make a decision. They absolutely have to make a decision on Tyler Mott. So either that means they've figured out a way to re-sign him or have a very good idea what the cost is going to be and that they're going to be able to get it done, or they're going to have to get an asset. Patrick Allvin said last week, they're not in a position where they can let guys leave as UFAs and get nothing in return. And of course, that was one of the great failings of the previous regime. I think as far as more significant trades, like everybody's been talking about JT Miller, it seems for half the season now, I think a lot of that, or at least a little of that, will have to do with how far the Canucks are out. And right now, the Canucks are still in the playoff race. They're on the periphery of it. 3 points is still bigger than it seems. But if they're 8 points out, or if they lose a bunch of games here, I think that makes it a lot easier to start dismantling the team. Because part of the repercussions when you make a trade like that, as you guys know, is the message that it sends to the other guys. Ideally, the Canucks would love to have everything. They'd love to have this team, leave it together, let them play themselves into the playoffs, get everybody excited for a change, and then also make some moves in the summer to position themselves better a year, 2 years, 3 years from now. I'm not sure they're going to be able to have both. They may have to make some hard decisions before March 21st.
And just referring, as we let you go here, just referring to something that you said earlier, one word, often used to describe this show, although I've never really, it's not often used to describe this show. It's the first time I've heard it. Dinosauric.
I know.
Thank you for that. We get something like that a lot here.
These newspaper guys always have they always have these words that we never use on radio or TV.
They're like newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are a couple of T-Rex. I'm just a bronze.
Thanks a lot.
No.
Hey, Ian, by the way,
you're Triceratops.
The flower behind you, it's lovely. What is that?
Oh, those are tulips. Thank you. Thank you for asking, Rick. That was unintentional. I was going to set up in my office, but believe me, you guys don't want to see what my office looks like downstairs right now.
All right.
So I came up to the dining room table, and the flowers happen to be there.
Look at you're going out of your way for us. We appreciate it. Thanks, Ian.
See you guys.